My name is Devin Day, and I'm a member of the Orange County Gourd Society, or Patch. And I entered two pieces this year. Um, this one is a little pyrography piece with a rabbit, and I'm still learning pyrography on gourds. Um, so I'm trying to concentrate on contrast, darks versus lighter colors. And this guy did very well in the intermediate category. I got first place. And then this one was a Bonnie Gibson class, and so I got entered in a complex class, and this one took a second place. And again, I tried to incorporate pyrography. My original plan was to make this into a kimono. And then when I got back and I looked at this plain image on the kimono, I realized that the class was called Doodles. And so I quickly scrambled and started freehanding in pyrography to make it more like a doodle. And then I did some of that on this side too. And then I tried to, again, thinking of the kimono plan, have a band around the neck of the kimono and put some detail in as if it were fabric. So that was my plan with that. This was my first time serving as a clerk for the competition, and it was a wonderful experience because I was able to listen to the judges and their criteria, and then I was able personally to see all of the work. And what a wonderful experience to be a part of, because I could hear the comments and know what the differences in creativity and then also skill set determine the placement of the judges' votes. So I hope that a lot of you participate again in this competition next year. It was a wonderful experience.
My name is Pam Watson, and I have been gourding for I think almost 18 years now. I'm considered a master level when I compete, usually in carving. And we just had a competition in Southern California, and I participated both as a judge and also putting a piece in. And this is what I did. It's a rhino, yes, a rhinoceros. But the reasoning was this wire is the snare wire that they actually have when they try to take the animals down in Africa. So they've been repurposing this wire and sending it so that it can be as part of this idea that we're going to save the rhinos. So I decided I like to use different materials together with gourds. So this is this snare wire and gourd, shards of gourd, and then some other materials as we go along. So I'll show different parts of them as we go along. So you'll see, if you look here at the head, again, it's shards. This is foam clay, often used by cosplay people. It's very light, so it's easy to use, and that's what I did in the horn. And then these are the shards. I used alcohol dyes, but also I used food coloring. Nice and cheap, but it works. And and then of course I also wanted to do add the metallic element. Remember, I'm combining my elements. So steampunk is part of that. So this is lightly steampunk. So I get the cogs and wire, and you can see I'm adding it as it comes in. This area up here is, those are warty gourds. So just different types of gourds. And I did wiring and color. And let me turn so you can see. Usually I got him there's his butt, kind of cute. And then this is the other side, which you weren't able to see. Again, and then here he is face on, head on. Did I just lose that table a little bit here? But there. Now what I wanted to show is, of course, I do learn things as I'm doing it. It's the whole point of, first of all, pushing the envelope and learning. So if you look right here, can you see that material? That is the parchment type, you find it in a gourd, especially an older gourd that's very dry and old, and you open it up and you find all that, the stuff inside the pulp, and some of it looks like sheeting. Well, I just pulled that away, made it like a paper mache, put glue on it and water, and then added the food coloring, and that allowed me, because of course gourds don't move, to cover the parts that I wanted to cover. Now I didn't want to cover all of it because this is supposed to be a modern art piece. And also I wanted to point out that this foam clay was used on the legs. See, they kind of punch in. And they take coloring, like even food coloring, really, really well. And then if you look right here, this is the real snare wire, and I'm indicating that this is where the animal would be snared, and then they come and they take off its horns. And they usually kill them, and ends up killing them. So that was my idea. I wanted to, this went into the category called Anything Goes, and I was really mixing my media. But my main idea was to take this snare wire with gourd and just make this piece of sculpture. That was my intent. And I just did it. It won a first place, and he did really well. I'm very proud. And this is part of our competition. We just have some wonderful ideas, and we're trying to show people you can do wonderful, wonderful things with gourds.
I'm Grace Swanson, and the concept for this gourd started with the Alzheimer's Association. And with Alzheimer's, you go pick up a piece of artwork by a patient, and then you do a piece of artwork to match what they've done, and usually it's a watercolor. So somebody had done a door, so I did a gourd with doors on it and gave it to the Alzheimer's, and they auctioned it off. So that was the start of the concept. So then I wanted to do something more intense with a lot more doors, so I started researching doors of Europe. So each one of these doors is an actual door somewhere in Europe. Some of them are in France, Germany, Spain, and I just chose doors that appealed to me. And I probably chose 20 doors and then narrowed it down and started carving. And some doors have stone around them, some have brick, and some of it I just kind of made up. So that's it.